get started here. Good morning, everybody. My name's Andy Richard. I'm the maintenance manager for Caltrans District 9. I'd like to welcome everyone to the District 9 Workers Memorial at the Independence Maintenance Station. Thank you to all of our maintenance staff who are here. Thank you to everyone who will be watching online as we are recording this memorial for the 4th year in a row, so we can play it later. I'm honored to be speaking at this most important and meaningful Caltrans traditions. For anyone new to Caltrans, be it here with us or watching on their computers, the Workers Memorial is an annual event where we honor our fallen workers. And we start this ceremony, as we do every year, with the playing of the national anthem. I'm going to ask Jesse and Ryan to please present the flags. Now, if everyone will please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, everybody. May be seated. Now I would like to invite Father Doug Walker from the St. Vivian Catholic Mission Church in Independence to start us off with an invocation.
It is so important that we take time to remember all the gifts that God has given to us and to bless those who have shared them with us. And we remember them in a special way for those who have gone before us. All-powerful God, whose mercy is never withheld from those who call upon you in hope. Look kindly on your servants, those who have left us serving you. Number them among your saints. Care for them, care for their families. Help us to do the same. May they always be blessed and remembered as our family and our community that we remember and that we join to, especially on this day. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father Walker. Our first speaker today is our own Brad Larson. He will talk about a near miss he had while working for the traffic management team on the Pack Fire last year in Lonoke County. These volunteer teams, largely consisting of office staff, responding immediately to road closures and by keeping the traveling public off the highway during emergency situations, they help our crews focus fully on the task at hand, such as cleaning up from wildfires, flash flooding, mudslides, accidents, hazardous material spills, and stopping traffic during winter storms at chain control checkpoints. Please welcome Brad Larson.
Thanks, Andy. Brad Larson, I'm an engineer. Don't hold it against me. Like Andy said, I'm the traffic management team. I'm one of the leads. I've been with Caltrans for 18 years. Like Andy said, we come out and help you guys when you're busy doing the real work, and we're just there to kind of help do the traffic control. So to free you guys up. Mostly we do winter road chain inspection and chain closures and stuff up north. Sometimes we get down this way, Death Valley when it washed out, we helped do that road closure and mudslides and stuff like that. So anyway, we're going to talk about the pack fire incident that happened last November. We closed the road because there's smoke and fire going across the road. That was on 395 up by Crowley Lake. Closed around noon, and then at some point mid-afternoon they decided that it might be closed all night, so they had initiated TNT to come out. This incident happened at the closure on the north end, which was by the Green Church. You guys know where that is. About an hour after we arrived, CHP, there was a couple of CHP officers there, and then one, and then it was determined that the road was going to open. So CHP said, "You guys can get out of here. We're opening the road." So that's what we did. We pulled our barricades and cones and took off. So right after we left, I called in a dispatch that we opened the road, and I called our maintenance supervisor. And as it turned out, there was some miscommunication with CHP and their dispatch, or whoever was calling the shots. And they said, no, we don't want to open the road. Go back and close the road. So we turned around, got back to the Green Church. This is probably like a half hour later, and now there's nobody there. This is after dark. It hadn't rained earlier. It wasn't raining at the time, but the road was wet. If you guys know that area, it's the Green Church by the airport at Mammoth. It's a long, straight road. There couldn't be a better place to set up a road closure. But anyway, now we got back. When we left, there was a whole line of traffic on the shoulder, trucks and cars waiting for the road to open. CHP in the road, we had it all set up, and it was pretty obvious the road was closed. We got back, and now it's dark. I'm like the only car there. There's nobody around. Really not a lot of traffic or anything. So I pulled out with a CMS truck. I had the road closed on the CMS board. A couple of my coworkers arrived. We set up 2 road closed barricades in both lanes, and then a row of cones, shoulder to shoulder, touching. And so we were behind that. 2 Tahoes this way, like in the shoulder and the number 1 and number 2 lane, and I was kind of in the middle with my CMS board up with road closed. Nils, my coworker, and also the CHP was not there. We were the only ones there. So we just kind of got all our cones and barricades and everything set up. I got back in my truck and I was trying to reprogram the message board to something a little bit better. Just said road closed. Nils got out of his truck to my left, and he was kind of standing in front of it. And he was facing me. I'm facing away from traffic, and we were kind of talking. And we're kind of discussing how everything was messed up and why did we open the road and close it and what's going on. But anyway, we were there just probably a minute talking, and then I saw Nils' eyes get like this big, and he ran to the side. I knew something was coming, so I just crunched down, crunched down in my seat and braced myself, and then this semi just blew through our closure, missed my truck mirror by about a foot. Nils was able to get out of the way, and it slammed into his Tahoe and totaled it. Can't show how my notes here. Nils, if he wasn't facing traffic, if he would have come to my window and just been talking like this, or I guess like this, and not been watching traffic, he probably would have gotten ran over. Also, if he was right next to me and was able to get out of the way, he probably would have gotten run over. So what saved his life probably was that he was facing traffic, watching traffic, he saw that semi coming, and he had an opportunity to get out of the way. So in the 18 years I've been with Caltrans, this was like my closest call. Some of the lessons learned from this was, if we're going to close the road, try to request CHPs there. Talk to dispatch, talk to your supervisors. Like a CHP on their way, or they are ready. But try to get CHP there. The red and blue lights mean a lot more to people than our orange lights. The CHP usually parks in the middle of the road. Let them do that if they want. Try when you determine where to close the road. You usually want to be at a crossover, just past a crossover so people can turn around. We don't want to back up traffic and not, have them stuck. So we want them to have some kind of exit. So usually past a crossover, but you really want to think about your sight distance. Like one of the most important things that we can do to stay safe is to be seen. And that's why we wear our PPE, that's why we have our lights, that's why we have our signs, we have all these things. We want to be seen. We want to let people know there's something coming up that they need to think about. So more of everything's good. Take the time to do this. I know it's work, setting up signs, and then you've got to tear down signs, and it's like, it's pain, I get it, but it could save your life or save somebody else's life or keep us out of a lawsuit or keep you from going to court one day. So we're supposed to be putting that stuff up. One of the potentially most dangerous times when we close the road is just right off the bat. So like I said, when we kind of had that closure set up for a while, cars were backed up, there's quite a bit going on, people coming into the closure kind of could sense something was going on. When we set it up the second time, and this is my point, right when we set it up and there's nobody around and there's no cars queued and there's not as much visually going on, that's when maybe somebody is not going to quite comprehend that they need to stop. So try to get your advanced warning signs up as soon as you can. And sometimes, like Josh says, we got to stop the bleeding. If there's something dangerous up the road, and we got to stop people from running into that. We just park in the middle of the road. That's what CHP is. We park in the middle of the road and stop it. But after that, we need to get the ball rolling. They call we need to get the cone truck there. We need to get our advanced warning signs up, CMS board out a mile saying road closed. So sometimes we don't do that. Like in the normal closure, we set all that up first, and then we start stopping people. Like sometimes when we close the road and it's an emergency, we kind of do that after, and we're allowed to do that. But just because we're allowed to do it not initially doesn't mean that we're not supposed to do it. So make an effort on that. That there is no T plan for closing a road. You'd think there would be, but we use the T13, which would be like the one-way reverse control plan. Even if you're on a 4-lane out on 395 or something, you do a road work ahead, then it's 1 lane ahead. If you want to replace that 1 lane ahead with a road closed ahead or accident ahead or something like that, but you should have your 4 signs out, rumble strips if you got them, road closed ahead, or road work ahead, road closed ahead, or 1-lane road, and then that flagger symbol. In my experience, that sign with that flagger is the most important sign. Maybe that and to be prepared to stop. But people see that flagger sign. Nobody wants to hit anybody. If they think somebody's out walking around on the road and they see that guy with the stop sign, they know that they're going to be stopping ahead. So I'd say of all the signs, that's the most important one. But try to get that advanced warning package set up. Try to get your CMS truck on the way and out a mile, saying road closed 1 mile, be prepared to stop. We all complain about nobody reads signs and nobody's going to see it anyway. Well, 100% of the people won't see the sign if we don't set it up. So we got to make that effort to try to give everybody a chance to like tell them what's going up. The other lesson learned is you're not safe behind a road closed or a line of cones. This truck driver, I don't know if he was watching a movie or what he was doing, but he was distracted for some reason because there couldn't have been more lights, more sight distance, it was like the perfect spot, and he did slow down a little bit, and after he realized he was going to run into us, but not in time. So after you do get set up, I would suggest parking on the shoulder. If CHP wants to park it on the road, they can do that. If you think it's important to have something on the road, maybe consider getting your attenuator truck there to park in the road, or one of your 10 yards or something. If you want to park something on the road, park it, but you might not want to be in it. You also might want to consider parking on the shoulder down a couple hundred yards. So if somebody does, come through that closure, they're probably going to be in the lane. So let them hit the road, close up barricades and the cones and run over all that. If you're safe off of the shoulder, you can replace all that, but not yourself or your truck. Another advantage of parking a couple hundred, people say, well, it's not, people want to ask questions, it's harder to talk to people. It's like, you know what, if somebody wants to park and walk 200 yards up to you, let them do it. That's fine. You'll get a lot less questions. So we've already told them the road's closed, and you probably don't know when it's going to open. So pretty much talking to people doesn't give them any information anyway. So that's one of the things that have come up. It's like, well, we like to park next to the closure so we can talk to people. It's like, let them walk to you. You can get out of your truck and talk to 1,000 people, walk to them 1,000 times, or you can have those 1,000 people walk back to you once. So just let them walk to you. Another lesson learned is wear your seatbelt even if you're parked. So, Nils wasn't in his truck at the time. If you see, this is the incident over here, if you see his truck, if he was in that truck when it got hit, believe me, he would have wanted his seatbelt on. So even if you're parked, sitting on the side of the road, not a bad idea to have that seatbelt on, because if you get hit, you're going to get thrown back and then right into your windshield. Face traffic, having an exit plan. Another lesson learned was communicate with CHP, communicate CHP's plans with your maintenance supervisor or dispatch, and make sure everybody is on the same page. This was one of the things that went wrong with this incident. There's some bad information wherever passed on to CHP to open the road, and we opened it, and it shouldn't have been opened. So make sure everybody's on the same page. And then lastly, I don't have to tell you guys, the road's a super dangerous place. It's probably the most dangerous thing we do, When somebody's afraid of flying, they say, oh, well, the most dangerous part of your trip is driving to the airport. And it's true. You're just one distracted driver away from, a life-changing or life-ending event. When you're on the road, hour after hour, day after day, year after year, you're exposing yourself. Think of that exposure time. Most people just drive to work and drive home. Maybe it's 15 minutes, or whatever it is. Down south, an hour. But we're out there hour after hour after hour, day after day, decade after decade, maybe. The longer you're out there, the more chance that something's going to happen. So the most important takeaways from this incident is face traffic and have an exit plan. Watch your coworkers back if they can't be facing traffic. And then lastly, pass this on to the younger guys, like all of you older guys. Once you're out there and you see this stuff, the longer I spend on the highway, the more afraid I am to be out there. But pass this knowledge on to the younger guys who maybe haven't seen stuff like this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. It's always a pleasure working out there with you and CHP together. good time out there. So, our second speaker today is Inyo County District 5 Supervisor Will Waddleton. District 5 is the largest supervisory district in Inyo County at more than 8,000 square miles, and it includes Independence, the county seat. He was sworn into office on January 6th, 2025. Please welcome Will Waddleton.
Thank you. I was asked to speak, and even though this is scheduled right in the middle of my board meeting and it's my primary job, you guys are very, very important to both my job and the people that you serve. And in my job, my road department is the least appreciated and overworked department of all the departments I get to work with. And I'm happy to know a few of my supervisors from Caltrans, the district area supervisors, and I rely on you guys so I can do my job. And I dropped everything and came right over here and sweated in the sun. This is a good setup. Get us speaking quick. Anyways, you guys are, and this is quoting Ryan Dermody in a phone call with me when I was probably being a little rude. At the end of the day, we're saving lives. And that's true. At the end of the day, you guys are saving lives. But don't be a statistic. Keep your guys safe, keep yourself safe, and remember your fallen comrades. What you guys do is vitally important to our county, state, and country, and thank you for your service. Have a good one.
So anyone who speaks at the Caltrans Worker Memorial takes a profound role providing dignity to our cherished workers. Thank you, Supervisor Waddleton. You too. The men and women who we honor today are missed, but the tragedies of their deaths have driven efforts to increase safety within Caltrans. We want to make sure every employee, contracting partner, gets home when they're working on the state highway system. Our traffic management teams respond at a moment's notice for road closures, sometimes in blinding snow, to keep the highway safe for our maintenance crews and the traveling public. We know this is a dangerous job. Just this year, as Brad spoke about up here, TNT crew vehicle was struck in Mono County with our team escaping injury. We know that drivers speed through work zones, are often distracted by their phones, or simply fail to see the signs that work is happening ahead. We know this happens, and this is why Caltrans, along with the California Highway Patrol, is committed to safety. The CHP's mere presence on the road is a visual cue to slow down or face the consequences. A moment's distraction can change lives forever. I want to thank the Bishop CHP office for covering all of Inyo County, including Death Valley National Park, the area larger than the state of Massachusetts, and for their partnership over the years by being available to assist during maintenance and construction work. They work long hours, stationed on both ends of road closures and road projects. We thank you for being a part of the process. Our third and final speaker today is Lieutenant Tyler Cockrell of the Inland Division of CHP. Welcome, Lieutenant Cockrell.
Good morning. Today we gather for an important purpose, to honor the Caltrans men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving the people of California. On behalf of the California Highway Patrol, it is my privilege, my duty, to stand with you in remembrance, in gratitude, and in shared commitment to service. Memorials like this are not easy. They're not meant to be. They ask us to pause our busy lives and confront the difficult truth that the work done on our highways, the work that most people barely notice, is among the most dangerous public service there is. Every day, thousands of Caltrans workers step on the busy highways and freeways before the sun rises. They work in the heat, they work in the cold, they work in the rain and the snow. They set cones, repair guardrail, clear debris, stripe lanes, and they keep California moving. They do it so commuters can get home safely, so that families can travel, so that emergency responders can reach those in need. They do it so the rest of us can live our lives without ever having to think about the risk they face. But the reality is, the highway is not a workplace designed for safety. It's a workplace designed by unpredictability. Traffic never stops. Vehicles weighing thousands of pounds pass just feet away at high speeds. Distractions, fatigue, impairment, weather, and simple human error turn routine work into life-threatening situations in an instant. A momentary lapse in judgment by a driver can change countless lives forever. As members of the California Highway Patrol, we share this roadway with Caltrans crews every day. We arrive at crashes together. We stand shoulder to shoulder in maintenance and construction zones. We rely on each other in dangerous situations. We know firsthand the courage that it takes to step out of a truck, to put on a reflective vest, and to trust that strangers will slow down and move over. Today, we remember those who never made it home. Behind every name we honor is the family, the spouse that waited for a call that never came, the child that lost a parent that lost a child, friends and coworkers who lost someone they counted on. Their absence is measured in birthdays missed, holidays forever changed, and empty chairs at dinner tables across the state. This memorial is not only about looking back, it's about looking forward. Every name etched into memory is also a call to action. A reminder that we must do more to protect those who protect our roadways. For those of us in law enforcement, it means continuing to enforce slow down and move over laws. It means continuing to educate drivers, and it means continuing to treat work zones as the critical safety zones that they are. For the public, it means slowing down. It means putting the phone away. It means giving space. It means recognizing that those orange cones mark someone's workplace. They mark someone's parent. They mark someone's spouse. They mark a son or a daughter. We cannot undo the tragedies of the past, but we can honor these fallen workers by changing the future. To the fallen, please know that your sacrifice is not forgotten. Your service is woven into every mile of highway and freeway. Your legacy lives on in every safety improvement, every driver who slows down, and every life saved because of the work they did. To our Caltrans partners, the California Highway Patrol stands with you. We are proud to work beside you, and we are committed to protecting you. We will continue to carry forward the memory of those we lost. Let this memorial remind us that public service takes many forms, but the heart is always the same. It is the willingness to step forward, to do a difficult job, to accept the risk so that others may be safe. Today we remember, today we honor, and today we renew our promise that their sacrifice will not be in vain. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Cockrell. That is why we take great efforts to safeguard our employees when they're in the field with coned-off lane closures, attenuators, portable message signs that alert drivers of their presence on the highway. That's why Caltrans is investing in new safety equipment. This year we had the pleasure of piloting some lighted cones to give our employees a bit more peace of mind when they're working on the highway. The Caltrans employees with us today, or the ones that will be watching online, I want to reiterate my commitment to you. Each one of us here carries a strong desire to protect our employees from harm. Caltrans has set a vision for itself to reach 0 fatalities and serious injuries on the state highway by 2050. Many people think that this is an impossible goal, but we believe it is possible. We can all do our part to reach that goal, to never add another name, another cone to the Workers' Memorial. And it starts with us recognizing that many people you see working on the highway, whether they're Caltrans maintenance workers, emergency responders, contractors working on a project, they all have families and friends that they'd like to see when the day is done. It's about caring for one another, caring about them enough to slow down, give them the space they need to safely do their jobs. In my 34 years of working on the highway, the ones that haven't made it home weigh heavily on each and every one of us. Don't speed, don't get distracted, slow for the cone zone, be work zone alert. If you can't remember that when you're behind the wheel, then if you can remember that when you're behind the wheel, then you're doing your part to make our roadway safer. Now I'd like to invite our District 9 Honor Guard, the team from Independence Maintenance Station, led by Supervisor Ryan Lane, to stand up as we honor those from our district that have died serving the people of California. Today, we mourn 195 fallen Caltrans workers, including one in 2025. On September 18, 2025, District 4's Mahadi Korean was killed when an asphalt truck struck him in a work zone on State Route 4 in Contra Costa County. He is survived by his wife and young child. Here in District 9, 7 have been taken from us while doing their job for the state of California. We hold our fallen Caltrans employees in the highest esteem and strive to preserve their memories. The first one lost, Curtis Warren, superintendent, died November 18, 1946. Joseph Bellotti, highway maintenance foreman, died May 18, 1958. Charlie Kispert, maintenance foreman, died December 2nd, 1960. Robert Miller, highway maintenance worker, died October 13th, 1964. Michael Murphy, maintenance student assistant, died August 7th, 1974. David Toby, engineering student assistant, died August 23rd, 1978. Jackie Aldridge, Caltrans equipment operator, died February 27, 2006. Now I ask Brian Patz, the District 9 South Region Manager, to place the final hard hat on the black cone representing workers statewide, including Mahadi Korean, who have died while on their job at Caltrans. Now let's all have a moment of silence for them. Thank you. The importance of safety and a reminder of how fragile life is cannot be overstated. Thank you for all being here. Thank you all for being here today to commemorate and memorize those we have lost. Thank you, Supervisor Walden, Lieutenant Cockrell, Brad Larson, for speaking today. The thing near and dear to my heart is every Caltrans employee, partner agency, and the traveling public making it home to their families each and every day. Now let's all do the same. Let's make it home safely. Thank you for coming to our memorial. That's all. Thank you.